Mavs basketball is back on Friday night, and I am so freaking excited. And if you want to show me just how excited you are, and if you think the Dallas Mavericks are going to win their opening game against the Houston Rockets, I want you to go ahead and give this video a like as we get into it. Now, we get about 3,500 of you watching every single video, but we're not getting that many likes. So go ahead and give this video a like if you think the Mavs are going to beat the Rockets on Friday night.
All Things Mavs.
All right, Mavs fans, today I'm handing out my awards for the Dallas Mavericks in the regular season. We're going to talk about the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the best newcomer this season. Now, I'm not going with a sixth man because the Mavs had so many different starting lineups that it was hard to really say who was a sixth man on this team. But we're going to start off with the most important award, the MVP. And really, when you look at it, the two best players on this team, it's pretty clear-cut. It's Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic. Luka's putting up ridiculous MVP-type numbers in the NBA. And Kristaps Porzingis is having a really good year as well. But the best player on this team, the Dallas Mavericks MVP, is very, very obvious. It's Luka Doncic. The second year, that's right, you heard that right, second-year point guard is already having an MVP caliber season. He went from Rookie of the Year to a guy who can definitely be in that MVP conversation. He's led the Dallas Mavericks to where they are, the 7th seed in the Western Conference. They will continue to improve that standing. And he's 6th in the league in points per game, 4th in the league in assists per game, and he leads all guards in rebounds per game, doing unprecedented things for a second-year guy. Now, when you look at what the Mavs have done as a whole, and the reason that really Luka Doncic is the MVP of this season for the Mavs because he's taken them to a whole nother level. Last year, when it was Harrison Barnes and DeAndre Jordan and Dennis Smith Jr. and Luka Doncic, it was 33 wins and 49 losses, a win percentage of just 40%. And the Mavs were the 14th seed in the Western Conference with an offensive rating of 109.4, which was the 20th best in the NBA. Not good at all. However, you look at this season, Mavs, 40-27, winning nearly 60% of the games they're playing. They're currently the 7th seed in the West, but that's not where they're going to finish. And that offensive rating, thanks to Luka Doncic, is at 116.7. Best in the NBA and best in NBA history. So not only is Luka the MVP of the Mavs this year, but he's also in the MVP conversation for the entire NBA. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I do believe is the MVP for the Milwaukee Bucks. And then right up there with them, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. I don't think I'm going to put people on this list like Damian Lillard because his team is not in the playoffs. Not going to put guys like Pascal Siakam because he doesn't have the points per game. But Luka deserves to be a top 5 MVP candidate in the NBA, and he is undoubtedly the Dallas Mavericks MVP. So I listed off my top 5 candidates. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section because as you know, as you've seen on this channel, you know that I love to interact with you in the comments. So let's get a little debate going. Who is your MVP this season? Not for the Mavs, we know your answer there, but for the NBA. Is it Giannis Antetokounmpo? Do you think it's LeBron James? Maybe you do think it's Luka Doncic. Put it down in the comment section. Now with the NBA coming back, it is really important that you do your part and wear your freaking mask. Don't be like Dwight Howard. Don't be like Michael Porter Jr. Go pick up a Dallas Mavericks mask today at chatsports.com/Mavs mask. You can get 1, 2, or 3 masks. You can even get up to 4 if you got some friends and family you want to give a mask to. Maybe you got some Karens in your family that are like, no, I'm not wearing a freaking mask. Well, here you go. Put on a Dallas Mavericks mask. Rep the Dallas Mavericks. Keep yourself safe and healthy. Make sure you get the NBA back by wearing that mask. Thanks to our friends at Fanatics. Now let's talk about the Defensive Player of the Year for the Dallas Mavs. And I wanted to give it to Kristaps Porzingis, but I just can't. I got to give it to Dorian Finney-Smith. And Maxi Kleber's up there as well, but he has taken a bit of a step back in his defensive play this season. But he's still great. He's still top 3 on the Mavs. But it's Dorian Finney-Smith. He has been the best and most consistent defender all season long. In the NBA, I believe he is one of the most underrated 3-and-D players in the league. The reason I have him as the Mavericks' best player, because it's hard to find those defensive stats. You can't just look at the blocks per game. You can't just look at the steals per game. You can't just look at what they're doing defensively on like allowing points per game. You got to do the eye test. And that's what Dorian Finney-Smith passes because he defends every single position on the floor. I've seen nights where he's guarding Damian Lillard. And I've seen nights where he's guarding Anthony Davis. The opposite ends of the spectrum, that Dorian Finney-Smith can lock down and defend on a consistent basis is really unlike anybody on this Dallas Mavericks team, and he provides something new every single night, and he's always tasked with guys like LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. Maybe sometimes it is an Anthony Davis. Maybe it is a Zion Williamson. Maybe it is a Damian Lillard. So I love what Dorian does. I love the grit that he plays with on a consistent basis, and that is really the reason I'm giving him this Defensive Player of the Year award for the Dallas Mavs. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments section. We love to light it up with the emojis. I love that you guys use those in the comments, and the way you can use them now is by voting on who you think the Mavs Defensive Player of the Year is. Think it's Dorian Finney-Smith, you're going to put an alligator down in the comment section. You know why? Because he went to Florida. So chomp chomp, the Florida Gators. If you think it's Kristaps Porzingis, use that unicorn emoji as always. If you think it's Maxi Kleber, you can either use one of two. You can use the phone emoji because of his little three-point celebration, or use the German flag and put that in the comment section. Now let's talk about the most improved player for the Mavs. And you know what? It's 100% Luka Doncic. It really is. However, I gave Luka the MVP of the Mavs, so I'm not going to give him the most improved award. But I've already made the case for him. If you haven't watched my video from yesterday, go check it out where I make the case for Luka as most improved player of the year in the NBA. He's gone from being a rookie of the year to being an MVP caliber player. And the reason, the amount of steps he's taken in his game in this second year is really unlike anything we've ever seen. And, it's great, and he's definitely grown a lot. If you look at his rookie year to his sophomore season, we can talk a little bit about the numbers here. He went 21 points per game to 29 points per game. He went 7 rebounds to 9 rebounds. He went 6 assists to 9 assists. His field goal percentage went up from 42% to 46%. The only place he took a little bit of a step back was the three-point percentage. No pun intended. Step back. Ha ha. Very funny. LOL in the comment section. But the most improved player on this Mavericks team outside of Luka, and the one I'm going to give the award to here, is Tim Hardaway Jr. You look at what he did in his time with New York and with Atlanta, and he was putting up pretty similar numbers. 13 points per game, about one assist, a little better than 2 rebounds. But where he took the leap and where he took that step forward was his efficiency. Three-point percentage went from 34%, pretty good, got to guard him, to 41%. An elite dead-eye shooter in the NBA, and his field goal percentage took a step up from 41% to 44%. That's why I'd give him the most improved player award, because he went from an inefficient guy that's just putting up shots to a reliable three-point shooter that is a true third option on this Dallas Mavericks team, something that I never expected from Tim Hardaway Jr. I thought he was going to be maybe a solid bench player or maybe a solid role player in the starting 5 every once in a while, but he's become the third best player on this team, and you can't argue that. Maybe Seth Curry, maybe some nights Dorian Finney-Smith, maybe some nights Maxi Kleber, but every single night on the most consistent basis, your third leading scorer is Tim Hardaway Jr., and he's been the biggest surprise to me this year. You look at some of the guys, there haven't been a bunch of surprises, I would say, on this Mavericks team. Dorian Finney-Smith, his three-point shot's been a surprise. Maxi Kleber's three-point shot's been a bit of a surprise. When you look at like a negative surprise for the Mavs, maybe DeLon Wright has let some people down. But the biggest surprise to me is Tim Hardaway Jr. However, who's the biggest surprise to you? That's what I want to know. I don't care about my opinion. I care about your opinion. So put it in the comment section, your most surprising Maverick this season. And what's not surprising is that you got to wear a mask right now. Everyone in the world has to wear a mask right now, so get one and get a Dallas Mavericks one so you can rep it all year long. Look, that's just the way the world is now. You're going to have to wear these face masks, so you might as well look good while you do it. Go to chatsports.com/MavsMask. And the reason I love this deal and the reason I love this link is because every mask you purchase, a mask gets donated. So you want to make sure you go do that. Do it for a good cause and help out your fellow Americans by staying safe and staying healthy with our friends at FNX, or even non-Americans. I know we got a lot of international listeners and watchers, so go check them out. Now let's talk about Newcomer of the Year, because I couldn't do Rookie of the Year, pour one out for Isaiah Roby, so we did the best Newcomer of the Year for the Dallas Mavericks. And these are the candidates we've got. These are the newcomers on the Mavs. Kristaps Porzingis, yes, he was on the team last year, but he didn't play last year, so I included him. Seth Curry is back. He's kind of a newcomer. He was on the team a couple of years ago. Boban Marjanovic, of course, he is the social media darling. Everybody loves him. DeLon Wright, a guy who I expected to do more but hasn't done that much this season. That is in part because of his lack of playing time. And then you also got Willie Cauley-Stein, but I can't really put him in the argument here because he didn't play enough with the Mavs. Now there's also the rookie Josh Reeves, the undrafted guy, but he was a two-way player, so obviously doesn't include him. But even if it did include him, it wouldn't matter because the best newcomer on this team is the unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis. We're talking about the unicorn here, guys. You know what to do in the comments section. He did not play with the Mavs last season, but this year he comes in and he becomes the running mate with Luka Doncic. And he really started to turn a corner before the NBA went on a little bit of a hiatus. And now, when the NBA is back, we expect him to be that all-star caliber player. I believe Kristaps Porzingis is going to be at an all-star level now that we're back in Orlando. You look at what he did for the whole year, and the numbers were just outstanding. Nearly 20 points per game. It was his best rebounding season of his entire career at 9.5 rebounds per game. He was blocking shots left and right, and his three-point percentage was right around 35%. But the reason they call this man the unicorn is because he can shoot threes, he's 7'3", and he blocks shots like nobody's business. Of the players, there are only 4 players in the entire NBA that made 100 three-pointers and blocked at least 75 shots. KP did it. Jaren Jackson Jr. did it. Robert Covington did it. And another Maverick did it in Maxi Kleber. However, there was only one player in the entire NBA that made at least 100 threes and blocked at least 100 shots, and that was Kristaps Porzingis. This guy is the newcomer of the year. He was really such a great addition this season, and we got to see some chemistry grow with him and Luka Doncic. A great year for the Mavs, but it ain't over yet. We're going to keep it going. Remember, if you think the Mavs are going to beat the Rockets, I want you to make sure you like this video. So go ahead, scroll down, hit that thumbs up. Real easy. Now what I want you to do is grade my picks. Grade my awards for the Dallas Mavericks. A, B, C, D, or maybe you don't like me at all. That's okay. I still love you for watching. You can put an F in the comment section below. So, Mavs fans, I always appreciate you tuning in. I love interacting with you guys in the comment section. Keep it up. Keep lighting that up. Keep hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.